This conference will now be recorded.
Once
Okay,
upon a
what?
time, okay, am I audible? All set?
Yeah, it's all you can.
Okay, so once upon a time, there was a family. And when I say family, there is always a poor husband in this family. In this family, there were four people, one poor husband, two beautiful, handsome, gorgeous daughters, and one intelligent commander-in-chief that was his wife. They went to a kids' carnival. The carnival was arranged at big stadium. In that stadium, at one side, there were games stalls where you can go buy ticket and play game. In case you win, you get the winning voucher. And at another side, there were food stalls. So Commander-in-Chief, I mean his wife, said, we have one mission here. We have to win as many games as possible. So they buy many tickets and then they divide it into two teams. Intelligent wife with elder daughter and poor husband with youngest kid. They went to both sides of the carnival and then started playing games. They won one after another game and they were at winning spree. After a while, they came back and they were very happy and jubilant that they have done a good job and they have followed the instruction of Commander-in-Chief, and then they have collected many souvenir vouchers. And now, poor husband was asked to go and collect those vouchers, those gifts from those vouchers. And when the husband reached to the stall where there were many gifts available, he saw there was argument going on. There was an old lady arguing with the organizer. Please give me two gifts. I have two kids. If you give me one gift, they will be fighting with each other. The man said, Madam, it's very difficult to give you two gifts because you want one voucher. So as per policy, we cannot give you two gifts and you will get only one gift. That poor husband was watching. They were fighting with each other. They were begging and there were rejections. And poor husband thought that I should help her. And he gave one voucher to that lady. But suddenly a thought came in his mind and took his hand. That thought was, what I will say to my wife when she will counting the inventory of those gifts. But as you all know that the husbands in this world have a secret book known as excuses. So he got one excuse from that book and then he delivered that voucher to that lady. She was happy and the matter was resolved. The husband was worried that he is accountable for his act and he has to explain it to his wife. So when he returned, he saw that his wife was jubilant, happy. Come on, we have to play more games and we have to win those games. Actually, it happened that a lady who was in a hurry gave 20 plane tickets to his wife. Ladies and gentlemen who are attending this webinar across the globe, this is the message. The things goes around, comes around. If you give good things to people around you, you will get good things. If you give respect, you will get respect. If you want to have good bank balance, start donating your money in charity. If you want to have a better world, better place, then start giving compliments to people other than people suffering from COVID-19. See positive things in people. Encourage them to give their best shot. Inspire them to act in a way that people generate more leaders, more inspiring people, more legends are grown in your home. So now I would like to take you to another story. And I would like to take you to few years back, I think few decades back. There was a girl, 19 years old. Her name was Catherine. She was 19 years old, but she had a very big dream. And that dream was to run Boston Marathon. She hadn't told this dream to anyone else, but she started training herself for this to achieve this dream. What happened? She hired a coach, started practicing with him. So she ran on a daily basis 10 miles a night. At night, they used to practice, and it was her routine to run for 10 miles. It is easier said than done. So one day she felt that now it's time to reveal her dream to her coach. So she said, "Coach, I want to run Boston Marathon." No way. No woman has ever done this feat. And you cannot do this in men's dominant society. The argument was going on and on, but the conclusion was the coach agreed on one condition, that if you can run a 26-mile marathon in a trial, and if you are successful, then I will support you. So the date of trial was agreed, and on the trial run day, she was very much excited that it is the time that I will prove that I can run a marathon. Ready, get set, go! Both of them started running, and she completed 26 miles marathon. After though achieving this feat, she said something very beautiful. I really liked the message she conveyed, the confidence she had, and she said to her coach, "Shall we run 5 extra miles to have more confidence?" This reminds me of legend Muhammad Ali. Someone asked him, "How many sit-ups you do for training?" And his answer was that I don't count sit-ups until it hurts. So her coach agreed, and they applied for the marathon. In the marathon, on the marathon day, it was April 1967. In Boston, it was chilly and snowy weather. 741 people have gathered, and she was very much excited, jubilant that it is the day I will be achieving my dreams. She was accompanied by her coach, training partner, and her boyfriend. People were surprised that a woman was participating in this marathon. They were asking different type of questions. One asked, "Would you be able to run complete marathon?" Another one asked, "Would you give training lessons to my wife so that she can also run marathon?" Ready, get set, go! 741 people started running. It was simple in the beginning, but as the miles were passing by, it becomes difficult. And they were facing chilly and snowy weather. At 4 miles, an official noticed that a woman is running in this marathon, which is not allowed. So he ran after her, and he manhandled her and tried to snatch her bib, which has a running number plate. Thanks to his friend, who was bodybuilder and sporting man, he struck that official away. But there was heated argument between both of them, and they were worried that police will catch them and they will face a trial and they have to go to the prison. And different types of thoughts were coming into the mind of Catherine, and she was very terrified. Press people have surrounded them and asking different types of questions, which was like bullets and arrows coming towards her. They were asking, when you will quit? They asked, why are you doing it? It's a man-dominated society and it's man's race. There were different types of thoughts coming into her mind. Now my question to you guys who have joined this webinar, what is the message we should give to Catherine? Shall Catherine quit the race or complete 22 miles which are remaining? So I would request people in the webinar, if someone can answer my question, what message we should give to Catherine? Shall she continue running 22 miles and reach finishing line, or she shall wait and she shall quit at the 4th mile? Okay, anyone would like to contribute? Okay, so I guess you would like to give her message that she should continue the race. Anyone agree with this statement? Can unmute your mic and let me know, because I cannot see the chat box. Okay, wonderful. So I have seen your replies on the chat box, which says most of you are saying that she should continue running and reach finishing line, which is 22 miles away. She has just started. She has just reached 4 miles. So my question to all of us, including myself, when we start our journey in whatever fields we are, we face different type of difficulties. We face different arrows coming towards us. We face bullets coming towards us. People say, please quit, you cannot do it. People say that you won't be able to achieve success in your life. And when we face failures, our own self says, quit, quit, quit. And we want to give message to Catherine that she should run 22 miles and reach the finishing line. So this is the message, that Catherine should run 22 miles and we should also run our race, and we should reach the level of our success. We should reach the finishing line. So Catherine, wonderful, wonderful thoughts coming into her mind. She said to herself that if I quit today, people will think women cannot run 26 miles marathon. If I quit today, people will say that it was a publicity stunt. And if I quit today, I won't be able to achieve my dreams. So she continued her journey and accomplished and reached the finishing line at 4 hours and 20 minutes. And she was the enabler of marathon women's marathon, and it was included in Olympics due to her constant effort and due to her success in this marathon. Ladies and gentlemen, this story tells us that if we have dream, if we pursue our dream by right coaching, obtaining right coaching and training, and then we do 10 miles a night in whatever field we are, spending lot of hours in training ourselves, equipping ourselves. And these webinars are also one of those opportunities for us to learn more. And if we have these failures, we have arrows coming towards us, hurdles coming towards us, we need to stand straight and tell ourselves that if we quit today, we won't be able to achieve our dreams, and start moving forward. And one day we all will achieve our dreams, and we are here to achieve our dreams. So these were the two stories which I would like to share today with you. And storytelling is very important technique, because in storytelling, you inspire people to do more. You cultivate inspiration in people. So if we all learn storytelling techniques, what we will achieve? We will be a good parent who is cultivating legends in their home. In our office, we will be the person who is motivating people, who will looking good and positive things in people and inspiring people to do more, lead more, and there will be more leaders. Stories are great source of inspiration. Even in Holy Book of Quran, there are many stories, and there are underlining and direct messages after that. And it is a practice since mankind has started their journey. People used to tell stories to their kids, and then these stories are remembered for a long time. So someone said that if history is told in the form of story, then no one would hate learning history. So now please be ready. I will be sharing my presentation slides, and today I will be discussing few basic techniques which you can use it, and when you will use those techniques, you will be able to craft a good story and also deliver that story. So let's begin the storytelling techniques. So are you ready? Someone can reply me by unmuting their mic.
Yes.
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, thank you. So
The
now,
story is already posted in the chat box. Yeah.
okay, so we are ready, and I will be discussing basic techniques today because it's a vast subject and it comes with the practice. But if we know the basic rules, I'm sure you all are intelligent people and you can craft a good story. One of the benefit of storytelling is that people will listen to your speeches, and they will invite you more often to webinars and give you more stage time so that you can inspire people. So there are 7 basic principles of writing a good story. As it is said, great stories happen to those who can tell them. So what are the 7 steps to write a good story? Number 1, this is the basic thing. What is your message? Write down this message in one point, in one sentence, that what is your message? What is your central idea? because your story will revolve around this central idea. So whatever you will do to craft your story, you must be clear in your mind that what message you want to deliver to your audience. So it's important that we must know our audience, because different type of audience, different type of stories can engage them. And if we don't know the audience, it will derail our story and it can backfire. For example, if you are talking to students and you are sharing a story which is related to kids, and students are of 10th grade, and you are sharing a story of kids, so it won't have much impact. So it is very important that we know our audience, and for that, when we know the audience, we will craft the central idea. So there are a number of audience, for example, board of directors, for example, your customers, your vendors, there are different types of audiences, or general public. Also age group and different I can say different affluent people, different classes of people. So we have to craft words and sentences differently. We have to bring up different stories according to the society and culture of that audience. So first step, think about the central idea which you want to deliver, and it should not get more than 3 sentences. If it's getting more than 3 sentences, so it is advisable that you should relearn that subject so that you are clear in your mind what message you want to give. And try to stick to one message. Yes, your story can have different type of messages, but what can happen? Uh, you have to deliver only 1 or 2 messages if they are aligned with each other, and if they are opposite to each other, stick to the one message you want to deliver. Second important step is setting. Setting means you have to establish the place where this story has taken place. For example, home, hospital, school, road, city, and country. In my first story, the setting was kids carnival, and it was a huge stadium where that story took place. So you have to decide which country, city, home, outside, in-house, what is the setting of your story. This is the most important part in storytelling. Who are the characters? We need to bring characters so that people are engaged with the characters. When I say characters, so limit those character maximum to 3, and it's better if you have only 2 characters in your story, because audience focus can shift away if there are uh, more than three characters, and you will not be able to control your story smoothly. For example, if you have 2 characters, you have a stage, or in a Zoom or a GoToMeeting, you have a frame of video. So you can, if the person A is saying something, you can stand at this side of the frame and say dialogue of person A. And once you are delivering dialogue of person B, you can move with purpose and go to the next side, and you can deliver the dialogue of person B. So it gives a lot of opportunity. If you have 2 people, you don't have to say person A said it, person B said it. Your movement on the stage can give the message to the audience, and they have in their mind, yes, person A is standing on the right, person B is standing on the left, and the speaker is going from one place to another, which shows that that person is speaking. And in when we say characters, so we need to build those characters. For example, we need to define what they're wearing, their physical things, what they're wearing, what they look like, or we can also say something about their emotions, their habits, and then we can define those characters, because it will be interesting for the people if the characteristics are defined. For example, in my first story, when I said poor husband, so even one word have defined that husband is has been given different tasks in home, so that is the poor fellow. And when I say commander in chief, so the person who is ordering, so these words can give the vivid image of people and characters in audience mind. So you can use those descriptive words and those simple sentences to build the characters of your story. And it also gives you an opportunity to create conflict in your story. The more the conflict, the more suspense will be built, and you can build climax in your story, which will be broken at the end, and it will create engagement of your audience. So paint the picture of the characters by using vivid words, descriptions, um, how they look like, what they're wearing, what are their emotions, and it will tie the story together. One more thing, when you build characters, you have an ample opportunity to give story life. Life comes with adding a flavor of dialogues, and dialogues can also engage audience. And you have an opportunity to move around the stage. You have an opportunity to do some gestures. You have opportunity to create vocal variety by changing the variation of your pitch, volume, and rate, and you can create differences between those characters, and it will break the monotonous tone of your speech. So these dialogues can have an impact, and you don't have to narrate whole story. Dialogues can also work out even better and engage the audience and give your message across. Then important is, what was the timing of your story? For example, it took place in the morning, last year, 10 years ago, before dinner or after dinner. So these things matter because they create images in people's mind. So next is the problem. What is the problem area in the story? What's the conflict going on? For example, in Catherine's story, the conflict was when there was a situation when I asked you what your opinion, what advice we should give to Catherine, and she was undecided whether she should continue or not. And in conflict case, if there is more than one thing can happen in the story, it is better, because otherwise people will predict what will happen, and they will jump to the conclusion. So if number of directions are coming out of the conflict, so it is better for the speaker, and you can maneuver at the time. For example, if people think that she will reach the finishing line, you have an opportunity that you twist your story at the moment and do that she is not able to reach the finishing line. Although this was the real story, that's why there is a lesser room to change the facts and figures and what happened next. But when you are delivering your own stories, or if you have crafted your own story, for example, story number one, there was ample opportunity for me to change the conclusion. For example, it could happen that the wife was not happy with that person, and then there was a fight, and then some other conclusion can be drawn from that story. So conflicts are important. There should be a problem in your story, and that problem needs some resolution, and that resolution is the key to the story, and the message will drive from it. So how events will take place? What will be the first scene? What will be the second scene? And what will be the dialogues? You need to craft those things, and you need to break the climax before giving the conclusion. So I would suggest that if you are delivering a 10-minute talk, you can break the climax at somehow after 8 minutes, so that you have 1 or 2 minutes to deliver the message. And if you break the climax early, for example, at 3 minutes, no one be then interested in your story. So if you watch any movie or drama, there are multiple climax in those stories, and they uh, conclude the climax at the end of the story. So you are not aware what's going to happen, and there is suspense, and people are watching, and people are thinking what will happen next, what will happen next. And this is the rule which need to be followed in each story, whether you're delivering it, whether you're writing it, whether your story has been selected for a movie. Then important thing is, what is the starting point and what is the ending point? You need to decide. There are a number of opportunities. You can start with the story opening, you can start with the middle scene, and you can start with the ending scene. And I'm sure you are a very creative people. You can start from any point of time, but you need to one thing keep in mind, that your story should be well knitted, and you need to bring it to life by dialogues and vocal variety and use of gestures. And you can, if it is well knitted, you can come to the conclusion, and you can break the climax at the end of the story. So if you're starting with the end scene, don't break the climax in the opening, because then people will be disengaged. So this is the summary of all those bullet points which I've discussed: central points, setting, characters, timings, problem, conflicts, and climax, and all those things which are important, and what is the scenes, ending and starting scene of the story. So let's have a brief catch up again. So write down the points of your story. So you have a central idea, then establish the setting, build the characters, and establish the time, and state the problem, your plot, what's events are taking, how events are taking place. There's a conflict, how it's going up and up and up and up, and suspense is created, and then climax is broken. And at what points your story ends. Remember, don't keep stories open. Close those stories and have a powerful conclusion, because your purpose is to inspire people with your stories. And so let's jump to okay, these are the important things which I already discussed, that give vivid description to the minds of the audience with the use of words and sentences, and use expressive dialogues, and evoke feeling with the dialogues and reactions. For example, we can say that her face turned red, and tears were coming out of her eyes, and she was jubilant, and her face turned red with the jubilation and happiness. So these are the direct and indirect ways to create emotion. So in my opinion, content is king. You have to craft your content, whether you are delivering normal speech, or you are telling story, or you are combining both. So invest your time and energy in doing research work and using good language, and craft your content, and then add uh, various gestures and vocal variety in your speech and storytelling, so that it can break the monotony, and it also engages the audience. So now we will be doing 2 exercises, and as we have a number of people here, so first of all, I would like you to listen to the story, and you need to mark those 7 things which I have discussed: central idea, timing, climax, and characters, and ending, and scene, establish the setting where it took place. So I will be reading out that story, and then we will have 5 to 10 minutes discussion on only this story. And then we will have some exercise on how to give life to any text written, or how to bring in the energy in the text. So we will discuss, and then we will jump to the question answers. So are you ready or not? Because I cannot see you. So I hope you all are awake. So let me read out this story. It was a sunny day. School kids were gathered in a playground nearby their school for annual sports day. They were wearing t-shirts of various color as per their houses: green, yellow, red, and blue. There was a tent on one side for spectators. Parents were sitting on chairs while students were sitting on grass. Teachers were busy managing the sports event. Race competition has just begun. Contestants of class 3, please line up for the race. 6 kids came forward to the starting line. Parents of those contestants were excited, and they were exchanging gestures. Son, focus, run straight, don't look back. You will win. I told my son, Sinan, who was wearing yellow t-shirt and black shorts. We exchanged thumb up. Ready, get set, go. All kids started running. Sinan was lagging behind. Run faster! I shouted, but he was lagging behind. Please run faster, I prayed. So he reaches the finishing line. Tears were coming out of my eyes, and I was happy that it was the first time my son participated in the race, although he came last. Now, floor is open. We have to discuss this story. What is the message of this story? Question number 1.
Yes, from the audience, you can unmute yourself, open your webcam, and just speak. I think this is an opportunity for you to demonstrate your public speaking skills. I think Lakshman, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Hello. Yeah, good evening to all.
Yeah, who is this? Lakshman?
Yeah, this is Lakshman. Yeah, you asked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. This is the failures are the stepping stone of the success, sir. So we should never give up.
Okay. So the message can be derived from this story. There can be multiple message. That it is, I think, indeed a success of a parent, that he was happy on not the failure of his son, but he was happy that his son has taken the first step. So you can derive a good message from this story, that it's all about participation. So never give up. Yes, you are right. Never give up. Don't afraid of contests. Don't afraid of failures, and step forward and participate, whether you win or you learn. Okay, so what was how many characters are there in this story? So our honorable audience, if you can unmute your mic, and it's an opportunity for you.
I think they mentioned in the chat box 2 characters.
Okay. So I've seen it. So 2 characters were there. You're right. One was father and one was son. We know few details about son, that what he was wearing, and we know few emotional things about his father, that he was very much excited and he want his son to win, and he shouted, and it reflects that he was very much deep in the game and he want to win. So what was the climax? The important question is, what was the climax in the story? Okay, again I have to see the chat box. So is it possible that people can turn on their videos so that they can participate in these questions?
Yes, sure. I think they can just share their webcam and they can share their video and unmute themselves. So anyone, if they want to come, please and just share your webcam and unmute yourself.
Okay, so let me move forward this story, that the climax was person running and participating in running competition. This was the conflict or a problem that that person was that kid was participating, but he was lagging behind, and he was not able to run faster. Even the his father wanted him to run fast, and that was a problem. And the climax was built up to the end because the audience didn't knew what happened. At one moment, audience could have felt that father was happy, which means he had won the race. However, the climax was ended when the person was not winning the race. Okay, so now I would try to give you one more exercise, which is reading the text and creating some life in that text. So if we have volunteers to read out this text. Okay, this is the example. You are looking at the screen, and and I would like to invite some courageous person in this webinar to read this text.
Can I read?
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
yeah.
Oh my God, they will hit us. Run. I picked my kids and my wife took her bags and we all started running. Those creatures were following us at a high speed and soon catched us. I lost my stamina and fell down and become unconscious. Sir, wake up. Wake up. Huh. Am I alive? Where are we? Uh, Can you please make it up?
Okay. Is it
The
visible?
slide. Yeah, the slide. Can you please make it up? Actually, I'm unable to see this one.
So
Where are
it's
we? Yeah, this is a little bit up. Yeah, because this some. Okay. I found myself in a car. I realized that I was having a bad dream.
okay. Wonderful effort, Laxman, and you did wonderfully, and that's why I'm saying that you all guys are intelligent people. So I would like to have one more person to read out this text, and then I will explain what the reason I'm giving you this text to read out.
I think Muhammad Al Rubi with us. He's a very, I think, expert in storytelling as a finance business
Yeah.
partner as well. Muhammad, are you with us? Muhammad Al Rubi.
Hi, Zishan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Can you see it
Muhammad.
again?
Can you read this story for Zaid?
Can you read this text?
Sir, I have connection issue. I cannot hear you well.
Sorry.
Can you see the screen, Mohammed?
Yes. Can you hand it over to any other one, because I cannot hear you well right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I read it?
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, sure. MBR, his full
Yeah.
name
Muhammad
is
Bilal. Muhammad
yes.
Bilal.
Yeah, Mohammed.
Oh my
Go.
God, they will eat us. Run. I picked my kids and my wife took her bags and we all started running. Those creatures were following us at a high speed and soon catched us. I lost my stamina, then fell down and became unconscious. Sir, wake up! Wake up! Ah, am I alive? Where we are? Where are the beasts? I found myself in a car. I realized that I was having a bad dream. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that you showed the courage, and this is important. If you want to learn public speaking, we need to come forward and we need to utilize our time and we need to speak up. Everyone learns, and you both have done a good job. So this is the simple story, and to bring in the life, there is important that if we see how to include some vocal variety, and in simple story you can bring the life. For example, oh my God, if we say in a slow or a low tone, it won't reflect that there is a danger. So if you say it louder at a high pitch, then people will understand that there is a danger coming in. For example, oh my God, they will eat us, run! So this will create some life in the story, and people will be looking at the speaker. What happened? What is going on in the speech? And believe me that people are not incorporating these type of techniques in their speeches, and all people are like speaking in on the same length on a monotonous tone, so they are not standing out. So I picked my kids and my wife took her bags and we started running. So when there's a word running, if you can accelerate the rate of your words per minute, it will also complement your sentences and people will understand it better. Those creatures were following us at a high speed, and soon they will catch us. I lost my stamina and fell down and became unconscious. At this moment, when I say unconscious, someone has become unconscious. So what happens when people become unconscious? They take some time to wake up. So if you use pause here, for example, become unconscious. For 10 seconds, if you have taken the pause, people will starting feeling irritating. What has happened? Why the speaker is not speaking? And you will also feel that I should speak and I should be in hurry and I should deliver the text. But if you can have a pause, that pause is a golden mine for you, golden opportunity to engage the audience. And then you can say, sir, sir, and that's a sound of your colleague or your servant or some other person. And when he will say, sir, wake up, he will be shouting at you because you are in the mood of unconsciousness and you are coming out of that. So for that purpose, sir, wake up, wake up, he will be shouting. And when you are coming out of that feeling, and then you will not be saying words with a fast rate. Where am I? Where are the beasts? So I found myself in car and I realized that I was having a bad dream. So this is just an example that a simple text can be converted into a life, into energy, and you can bring life to your story by your vocal variety and gestures, which are very important for every public speaker to learn. And all these skills can be learned by doing. So the moment you give up is the moment you let someone else win. This is the quote I would like to share in the end, because if you want to win, you have to come up, you have to learn things, and otherwise other people will win the race. So this is the course I developed for people to learn storytelling. And in this, you have different modules. And in recently, I have experimented one online course. So we have 4 sessions in that course, and we discuss theory and then we practice it. People are given home assignment, which I say fun things to do in lockdown, and they create their speeches, their stories, their humor, and then they share their assignments and they learn by doing. So this is the content of a course I have created, which I will be shortly launching after a holy month of Ramadan. If lockdown is ended, then we can have face-to-face this session. Otherwise, we can do it virtually, and virtually it is possible to do it. If people are willing to do it. So now I would open the floor for question answer session. And you have any question regarding public speaking, you can ask me, and I will try to give you some tips about it.
Yes,
Yes,
audience.
right. Yes, I have a question that you have tell a story. You are telling a story. So, in our professional life, like in finance, how can we use this storytelling technique to bring, you can say, our audience engage? So, how can we connect? So, you are telling a story like a kid and others. So, how can we connect it with our finance profession specifically?
Yes, this is very important question, that how we can connect stories with our professional life. So how we connect our stories with numbers. So if you are, it depends on which industry you are. There are a number of opportunities. What are the successful stories in your profession? For example, if you are in pharma sector, what were the success story related to your products? So you can develop a story, real stories. You can pick real story and you can add flavors to that story, how patient was treated with that drug. Or if you have win the hearts of your customers and they become loyal to your product, what was the story behind it? You can use it as a sales pitch. And there will be number of occasions where you don't have to uh, deliver long stories. In that case, what you can do, you can have a brief stories. So brief stories, in brief stories, you can cut down the fat from those stories. For example, I have shared the text which I read was extract from a story. It was a very short story. It can be delivered in 3 minutes. So it can also further cut it down to 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, and you can deliver that story. However, there are situations and there are audience who don't want to hear your long stories and you are not allowed to share those stories, then there is an opportunity to start with a good quotation. So you have a bang. When you open your speech, you should come up with a good quotation or a good anecdote or a short story or some simple in question or a statement. So these are the techniques to grab the attention of the audience. So if you are presenting your numbers to board of directors, you can have short story. I think they won't mind it much. And once they like your story, they will expect every time you're going there, you are bringing some interesting stories to tell.
Right.
Okay. So any other question?
Yes, audience. If you have any question, either even you can leave in the chat box or you can just unmute and
Yeah.
ask. Still, we have 5 minutes. We can take more questions. Okay, that's. I think you can make some closing remarks and some advice for the finance professional, especially.
Yeah. So yes, we have something in chat box.
Yeah, Lakshman.
Okay. Okay. I think it's very important that we should start researching, reading things. Quotes are available on internet. You can search Google. There are different types of quotations available, and but for stories, if we go and get from Google, so that will be a difficult thing because most of the people can reach to the Google and listen to the read the stories. So it is advisable to do a research if you are doing for any topic. So get some interesting unheard stories which are buried inside books. And most of the people don't read books nowadays. So if you are in the field of speaking, you need to do research and read books. So that is the way to getting things out. But quotes, yes, available on internet. You can get as many quotes as possible. So pick the quotes which you think people haven't heard and they are inspirational. Okay, Mohammed Shakil has asked, how can we contact you for your course? So I will be sharing my details with Zishan, and Zishan, you can share with people if possible, so that
Yeah, sure.
yeah. And don't afraid of learning public speaking. So I have seen in my life number of introverts, shy people learning public speaking, and English is their not mother tongue, their third language or second language, and they are doing wonders in public speaking. It's possible to learn. The difficult thing about public speaking that it requires effort and hard work. And because there are three types of people in this world. One is nervous people like me and you. We all are nervous about the stage. Whenever we are called, feel nervousness. And second type of speakers are liars. So in this world, everyone feels nervousness, and this is there are different techniques to overcome your nervousness. And there are third speaker who feel that they are good speaker, but however they are not good speaker because they are not using um, uh, attention grabbing techniques and not researching on their topic, and they are coming for delivering. Yes, they are master of their in their field, but they are not good speakers. So in this way, people get irritated and they think that they should stop speaking and come down from the stage. So it's important that we learn this skill. So inshallah, I will be uh, um, launching a course post Ramadan, and I will be inviting all of you if you want to join. It will be my pleasure to give you more tips there. Still undecided what will the price. It will be, I think, reasonable and affordable for you guys. Okay, Zishan, it's all
Yeah,
done.
we are also actually we were planning to do one 2-day workshop with Zaid in Dubai, but as you know, due to the current situation of COVID-19, we postponed it. And inshallah, we'll see how the things will develop in coming days, and then either we will do a virtual workshop or we will be doing it on site in Dubai during the summer after Eid. So you will be just be in touch with us on LinkedIn at our platform, and Zahid is also with us. So we will update all of you. So thank you very much, Zahid, for such a great
Thank you.
presentation
My
on
pleasure.
sharing and improving the public speaking skills. I think thank you so much for Zahid Kalia, a wonderful presentation. Okay, thank you very much, Atif. I think Atif is also part of our Mecca alumni. Atif from so thank you very much, audience, for your time, and thank you very much, Zahid. Take care and stay safe.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Good night.